But if I missed you, just look at the picture, see Winnie, and it's gone.
Come on.
Yeah, that works without sound. I'm pretty sure. I'm back next week for another event, and I will come back occasionally. Just how I said, as a supporter now, and I'm fine with that. Honestly, I maybe not for the first game of the season. When starts the season, by the way? Sorry? Oh no, I don't have time then. That's early. Wow. Maybe after the second international break or something like that. So it's look. What can I say? I decided there must be a difference if you if the things go bad, always worse, and then or if the things go well and you go, and I'm really happy that we could have done it that way. So that's it. That we did it that way. Yeah. Third. That's all right.
And we're joined by a man who looks good in every metric. That's Leroy Sané. Did you write that?
Yeah, I did actually.
We'll talk about the champions very shortly, but there is some breaking news. Liverpool Football Club can announce that Arne Slot has agreed a deal to become the club's head coach, formally taking up the position on June the 1st, 2024, and that's subject to a work permit. So we thought everything was done and dusted. It isn't, because we knew Klopp was going, but Arne Slot's the new man in charge. We pretty much knew that anyway, didn't we?
It's the worst kept secret, really, wasn't it? It was rumoured. We all knew Jurken Klopp was on the pitch singing Arne Slot's name, so it was inevitable. But this is the official announcement, and now Liverpool can move forward.
Yeah, look, you won't get a smoother transition. I've never known a manager who's said he's going to leave singing the new manager's song the day before he's announced. So look, it's a smooth transition, and let's hope that Arne Slot picks up from where Jurgen Klopp left off.
Absolutely. So official confirmation, Liverpool have got Arne Slot as their new manager for next season. We'll keep a very close eye on that. But for now,
the final fist pumps in front of the adoring Klopp, as it has been in pretty much all of Jurgen Klopp's time at Anfield. Danke, Jurgen, was the message at Anfield ahead of the game and then after the game. It was really interesting. We saw that VT then. It's all been very emotional. It's all been quite tear-jerking. And then as soon as the final whistle went, the players and Jurgen Klopp made their way off the pitch, and they came back on for the presentation, after which it was all very celebratory, because there's a lot to celebrate in his time as Liverpool manager, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, quite incredible, absolutely, yeah, to celebrate. Jurgen Klopp will give fans, or has given fans moments that they will never, ever forget. This has been the most incredible 9 years to be a Liverpool fan. From minute one, he got the city, he got the people. I think people warmed to him straight away. Wasn't the easiest of starts. There were a few calling for his head after a few months. However, for the majority of the time, there's been a total love affair between manager and the club and the city. They've won everything, absolutely everything. I think the one thing that he'll possibly regret is these boys.
Listen, I had nothing to do with it,
being around, because, to win one league with the team that Jurgen Klopp, or the teams that he's had in those 9 seasons, has been incredible. But almost, you'd expect them to win more than that. But every trophy is in the cabinet. Some of the most incredible memories. But he's not just what he won, it's how he won it as well. The style of football, everything about it. And he's going to be virtually impossible to replace.
It's been really interesting, Darren, that people have been sharing their memories of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. Very, very rarely do they mention winning the Premier League title and winning the Champions League trophy in Madrid. They talk about other times that have happened during his time at Liverpool. It's been as Michael said, it's been about the everything rather than the individual titles.
Yeah, I mean, I work for a newspaper that very much is a newspaper that is connected to that area, and when you talk about Jurgen Klopp in connection with Liverpool, it's a city, not in, and it's a city as a whole. There is respect from him on the blue half, there's admiration for him on the red half. You talk to the Hillsborough families about the impact and the way that he put football aside to really connect and bond with them. You talk to anybody. He did lots of fan podcasts before he left.
Which was his choice, which he asked to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that there's that phrase, sleeping giant. And he went there and he woke up a sleeping giant. He electrified the city. He electrified the club. He gave them confidence. He gave players confidence. I saw an interview with Steven Gerrard where he said, like, I played in a charity game for him. And I really I'd give anything to play for a year for this man because he gave us such belief, such confidence, so much motivation. And I think what he did sort of straddled social and sporting. And that's why there is so much said about it. And yeah, he didn't win as much as everybody else. But I don't think, as you rightly said, for the people of Liverpool and for the people of Anfield and for the people of the city, it was about winning. I think it was about restoring that respect and that confidence and admiration, belief that they had in their club. That's what he's done. And he's left them, he's rebuilt the side and he's left them in a great position now to continue being a superpower again.
Yeah, go on, Kels.
I was just going to mention the relationship with the players, because you saw people like Trent Alexander-Arnold who says, I never cry. And since Jurgen announced he was leaving, at all the various moments, I can't stop crying. No. And then you saw Virgil van Dijk in his arms sobbing at the final whistle. It's been interesting to see players that you don't think of as being overly emotional reacting in that way.
I think it's the connection that you get with a manager like that when you're striving for what you're striving for, and what those players in particular, those two players, and Jurgen Klopp has been through, tried to chase down this Manchester City side. And this is why, again, it's imperative that something happens with everything that's surrounding Man City, because what that will take from Liverpool and what they could have achieved with those players, with that manager chasing them like they have. I've said it, they made the Premier League interesting because they really had a go at City. And like that generation and that team, you know, it's only a team like City and what they're capable of doing can stop, like Jurgen. Like the way the people talking about Pep, they could probably talk the same about Jurgen.
Right, I think there are very few transformative managers in the Premier League. Wenger was one. You played for Wenger. Yeah. And I liken what Klopp did when he arrived to what Wenger did when he arrived. There are various junctures in Premier League history where people... Well, Guardiola did it to a certain extent as well. But I think the Klopp has had that kind of transformative effect, whereas he's raised the bar in terms of what Liverpool could do, raised the bar in terms of what other people could expect of Liverpool and the perception of Liverpool as well. And I think challenging City the way that they done, if it were not for Liverpool, City would have won leagues by wide margins. And then you really could say that this league was uncompetitive.
Yeah.
It was interesting as well to see Guardiola's reaction to Klopp's praise for him, because he talked about that rivalry and how they'd driven each other on, and he was glowing in his praise for Pep Guardiola, which reduced Guardiola, again, a man you don't often think of as, you know, particularly emotional. He was reduced to tears in his press conference.
Yeah, absolutely he was. I think for me, with football, you don't really get the chance to have long relationships with people. You know, whether you're moving clubs, managers are coming and going, staff, they're coming and going. But the longer you have that, the more of a connection you have with them. Even if it's a case of going up against like an older adversary over and over and over, you're pushing for a league title. Even though the competitive side is there, the respect is also there. And that respect just increases year in, year out. And, you know, that's from the Guardiola side of things. But I think from the VT, or the video which ran, when a new manager comes into a place, if you were to ask them what would it spend all of next season talking about managers probably going to get sacked and nobody will shed a tear. 100%. But from the moment you see fans of that football club shed a tear, they know that that person that's been there helping the side out have been transformative, as Darren said, for what their football club is. And with that, all those managers that have gone up against them. And even from myself, in the last few years, I've been able to speak to him almost as a reporter. When I listen to him talk about football, it almost inspires me, because it takes me back to the way that I could have been spoken to as a player. His vision for it, his passion for it, and the success that he's had in making those players better and giving the crowd something to believe in. That Liverpool today is so different compared to what they were when he first came in. And obviously the team and all the staff like helped that. But this is Jurken Klopp's Liverpool, as we're talking about them right now.
Yeah, he said when he came in, that team, he said, nobody liked that team, but I did. I saw something in them. I saw something in them that I could build, all of which means that they are big boots to fill. Here's what Jurgen Klopp had to say about his successor.
Arne Slot! La, 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 la. Arne Slot! La, 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 la.
There's a couple of things about that. One is that the PA system wasn't great in Anfield yesterday, and nobody realised that's what he was singing. So there were maybe a couple of people who realised he'd said Arne Slot. A few people thought he was saying Ulla Klopp, which is his wife, and they were singing along with that.
Oh my gosh.
But most people thought he just started his own song and was singing Jurgen Klopp. And so there was it wasn't
Lovely
quite
dress.
as an effusive a kind of welcome to the club for Arne Slot as maybe it was. But the fact that he tried to do that was kind of a mark of that continuity. And you know, we'll talk more about this at the start of next season. But has he left something that can be built on, do you think, at Liverpool?
Without a doubt. When you look at the young players that's coming through, obviously the older players, you don't know what's going to be happening with someone like Mo Salah and that. But when you look at the other players and the players that have signed up, the young players that are coming through, it's in really good hands. Again, you just hope that Arne Slot, that's right, yeah?
Yes.
Is he's going to understand what it means, what the fans and how important the fans are to what's going on in respect to the support he's going to garner for him to then go forward, because the pressure at Liverpool, and one thing with Liverpool and the fans is that they're not booing their players, they're not slaughtering their manager. They will let that manager stay there until he has to go. But once you get them on your side and you're putting the performances in, there's no better place to be. You know what I mean? So you're hoping that he is the kind of manager that can really feed off of and embrace that kind of love he's going to get off the fans. Because if you're a Liverpool manager, you have to have that connection. And I think that, look at some managers who haven't had it, I'd say probably Roy Hodgson, didn't have Brendan Rodgers. I don't think they had it. I think Rafa kind of got...
They appreciated Brendan Rodgers.
They appreciated him, but like...
And respected Rafa Benitez, but it wasn't on the level of...
Exactly, and, you know, it's very difficult to get it. But if you can get it, you half the job's done for you.
We should say that although Liverpool got that 2-0 win against 10-man Wolves, could have been even better. And we do like to have a miss. And there weren't really that many glaring ones. But this one, which I think they thought had crossed the line at Anfield, but managed to come in off the crossbar, which actually the Liverpool fans started to sing the Luis Garcia song straight afterwards, reminding them of the Champions League semi-final with the goal against Chelsea that Jose Mourinho said didn't cross the line. So we found some other misses from the rest of our esteemed panel. Michael Owen?
That's not Michael.
That wasn't me.
That couldn't have...
Who got in my line?
Someone got in your way, look.
Shoulder. I mean, I thought he was going to get it. Shoulder's fault.
Look at Mike. As soon as you see your face as well, Mike, you're gutted.
Just a reminder that you are human. But there is this one as well, Nathan.
For me...
Yeah,
we only show misses on...
You don't know how hard I try to forget stuff like that. Bringing it back now.
Not a bad one, that, mate.
We have to do it because we feel like if we criticise the current players, we have to kind of even that out.
We have to even it out.
With historical examples.
Awesome.
Historic
Good
examples
defending.
of it. And then, right, here you go. We're running out of yours ones because it...
No way. Impossible. Not him. It bobbled.
That's the one you have to try and hit on falling down. Maybe I got it too wrong. Look, I'm thinking I've got because it's
another one.
Oh, we got two.
Where have you found that? It's not me. Oh, it is me.
Yeah. The problem
that was so. Just trying to get.
Pulled you
get my
back.
foot. Yeah.
Another one.
Couldn't get my foot around it.
Just because it's the last day of the season, we thought we'd get you a hat-trick.
They wanted the corner as well.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, he didn't give a... Oh, he just... Was that Gareth Southgate?
No, I think it was you.
No, it definitely came off you.
Gareth got a toe on it, and then they didn't give the corner, and I was devastated because I said people thought I'd missed.
Well, you can discuss that for a few minutes because we're going to head to a break very shortly because after that, we've got... It's the ones that all the players really want to put on their...
Time, Jurgen, what was today like for you? Such an emotional occasion.
It was, but somehow it felt different. It felt wonderful. I was prepared to to get completely hit. I love everything about this place, but the day felt much more like a start than like an end. Fantastic atmosphere. Eh? So the people were really on fire. I said it to the people from now on already. I'm a supporter of Liverpool FC, and that's absolutely fantastic and feels great.
You know, he's just embraced the culture of the whole club, the whole city, the minute he stepped through the door, and now he'll class himself as a adopted Scouser and things like that. And so when you come to the club, you've got no option but to follow him. So yeah, like a fantastic manager, a fantastic person, and I just wish him and his family all the best for whatever they do in the future.
I'm the new manager, like you welcomed me. You go all in from the first day. Arne Slot. La 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 la. Arne Slot. La 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 la.
What a personality, what a character. It won't be easy for Arnie to slot in, will it? Klopp departs having, won everything. And I suppose if they hadn't coincided with Pep's Manchester City, who knows how many trophies they would have accrued.
Yeah, he's done an unbelievable job, Gary. When you consider they were 10th in the Premier League when he joined in 2015, 8 games into that season. Everything about him I thought was class. The way he understood the area, what the people needed and wanted. He delivered both on the pitch and off the pitch, which I think is hugely important for that football club. And he just got it. And he's been a huge success, and he'll be a massive miss.
Yeah. You can see how close they pushed Man City in.
Well, this is
season after season.
Well, this is why, again, when you mention the charges and stuff with what's going on with Man City, you look at what. If that doesn't transpire well for them, what have they taken from Liverpool and what Liverpool have done? They've lost the league on 97 points and 92 points. They've chased down Manchester City to, Arsenal are now going to have to try and take up those reins. But what Liverpool have done and what he's done in the way that he plays, he represents everything I love about football. He loves the fans, massive connection with the fans, passion, winner. Everything about him is quality of football. He's going to be a massive miss here.
Yeah. He will be one tough act to follow.
Yes.
When we come to the game itself, Gary O'Neill wasn't happy with the red card. We're not so sure about that on this occasion. Wolves have, of course, called for VAR to be scrapped.
That's a dangerous chat. How can he? Listen, I know that they've been hard done by this season, really badly, in respects of the VAR, and they're calling for. But how can you look at that and say that is not dangerous? That's not a red card. Come on, man.
What do you think about the possibility of VAR being scrapped? The clubs will have to vote. 14 clubs need to.
I'd go with it. I'd keep, obviously, goal line technology is amazing. Semi-automated, automated cut out, yeah. But everything else, I'd probably say, let's get rid of it. We're losing everything. We're losing the celebration of a goal, man.
There's a lot of things going against it. Alan, what do you think?
I would keep it, but I would get people who can run it.
Where are we going to find them?
The way they told us it was going to be run, by not re-refereeing the games and only for clear and obvious.
The problem is, of course, that clear and obvious is very difficult to define. It's certainly not a clear and obvious problem.
9 seasons of Jurken Klopp. How would you sum up his time at Anfield?
Unbelievable. I'm not a Liverpool fan, and I was in tears today. He's got such a connection. I know a lot of people say he only won 1 Premier League, but he pushed City and the team that he's had, the net spend, everything he's done, the connection with everybody. He's been unbelievable for Liverpool, but also for the Premier League, and we're going to miss an absolute. Even look at
this. It's like father and son, isn't it?
Yeah, he was crying. I think Trent was it?
Yes.
Yeah, and we were saying it's not very often that you find a connection with your manager. I definitely didn't along my career. So to have that with your players is, but more importantly with the fans. And I think the next manager, I know it was amazing what Klopp did to try and set the net manager, because that shows what a good human he is, because that is difficult to follow. That
well,
way.
he got the club obviously, and he got the city. And Liverpool. I mean, Owen, you play for 2 of the biggest clubs in the world in Manchester United and Bayern Munich. But Liverpool is a very special city as well. It's a very political city. He completely chimed with it and got it all. So as much as those who want to disparage his achievements, which I think is madness, of only 1 league title and only 1 Champions League, he won League Cups and FA Cups. It's a lot more than that, though, as well, isn't it, in terms of getting on board with what Liverpool FC stands for?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Mark. I think he's so much more than a manager. He's so much more than trophies. I think the relationships he builds, whether it was at Mainz, whether it's at Dortmund, whether it's at Liverpool, I've never seen a manager be celebrated like he's everywhere he goes. His players are crying. Most of us are delighted to see the back of our manager. And yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
You know, but he has this connection. Even when you meet him, I remember the first time I obviously knew him from Germany. I interviewed him at Anfield in his office and training was going on. I came in and anyway, he walked by and he saw me and he come over and I put my hand out to shake his hand. He gave me this big bear hug, you know. And I remember thinking, wow, imagine what it'd be like to play for him. And, you know, I'm just interviewing him, you know, so you can see that connection he has with the fans. And anybody that criticizes he only won Premier League trophy is insane, because what that guy built there when he took that football club over is absolutely out of this world. I've never seen a better pairing between a manager and a club since I've been playing or on the broadcast
And just to answer those critics who say only one Premier League trophy, we've just been talking about Manchester City and how many points they get every season, the fact you need 90 to get near to beating them. In the seasons before Klopp came, they were averaging 63 points a season, Liverpool. Wow. They were averaging 85 points a season under him. So that's 7 wins more a season.
And like I mentioned earlier, the spend is significantly different. And
completely.
The players, he's squeezed every inch and more. I was listening to Adam Lallana speak earlier, and he was saying that when he was before Klopp came in, he didn't believe, he didn't have the confidence. Like, he gave him that, and like I was saying, he squeezed every bit and more out of any player than you could ever believe, and that's what's got them to where they are. And I think I think he's incredible. I'm absolutely gutted he's going, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I just admire him for what he's done, and like I said, one Premier League, but that doesn't define him, what he's done for that football club.
And I think the expression that we were told, which I don't know whether it was the same as I presume it came from Germany, it's heavy metal foottle. Is that what they used to say about Mainz and Dortmund? I mean, the first thing we were told was, it's his football is heavy metal. It's very appropriate, isn't it? Yeah. Because it was, you know, noisy and big, you know, big bangs and drums and everything.
Well, Pep had his style. Yeah. And Klopp was kind of almost the different side to it. And it was a little bit more pressing, a little bit more kind of off the cuff. And to be fair, they're the only team that's been able to push this Manchester City side. So I love his football. Obviously, Pep's a genius, probably tactically the greatest. But if I could pick one person to play for out of the current ones, it'd be Klopp, because it's a mix of technical, he's a smile on his face, but we're going to come for you as well. It's like a tornado. Yeah. And I think the players absolutely love playing for him.
And huge respect from Pep today, talking about Jurgen Klopp, saying, I'm really going to miss him. No, I'm not really. No, I think he said he's really
but you know what? They just need to, almost in a way, just do it different. They're never, ever going to replace Klopp. Don't even try. No. Just whoever the next guy is, like you said, just go all in on him like they did on Klopp, because that guy is almost irreplaceable. I just wish he was maybe like a president or a prime minister, so we could keep seeing him.
Well, maybe that's next. We'll see.